So, Ryan, for
sir.
people who don't know what Deadpool is,
Yeah.
in a market sort of saturated with superheroes,
Yeah.
he's very unique, very fresh, isn't he?
Yeah, he really is. It's one of those rare properties that comes along that they're reticent to make, and they didn't want to make it. It was 11 years I was trying to get them to do a Deadpool movie, but they finally did. And I think that it all works in its favor. The anticipation of a Deadpool movie constantly being asked. I mean, that was kind of the worst torture over the years, was people always saying, "Are they going to make a Deadpool movie?" And me saying, "I'm trying." But here we are. We get to introduce him to the world.
So when they finally say yes, it is your job then to make sure you do the character justice, because you've played him before, obviously briefly.
Yes, I have. Yeah,
As
without any real control, I've played him before. But this film, I was lucky enough. I got to produce it, and I got to star in it, and I got to really sort of protect it. And I was so vigilant about the canon of Deadpool to make sure that we get every aspect of it right. That even the most kind of scrupulous fanboy or fangirl could sit down and go, "That's Deadpool. That's the Deadpool I know, love, and need."
How do you make that pitch? How do you go to Fox and basically say, "I want to take the piss out of your mythology"?
Deadpool exists in the X-Men universe, and the X-Men universe is a very valuable asset that Fox owns, and it's so it's not easy to do that. And truthfully, I never got the movie made. I didn't have anything to do with that. I begged and pleaded them, but we shot a little bit of test footage years ago. It sat on the shelf at Fox. Nobody did anything with it, and then suddenly one day it accidentally leaked onto the internet, and that was about a year and a half ago.
Accidentally leaked.
And here we are. I mean, that was the fans that spoke. They spoke loud and proud, and they just overwhelmed Fox with response over the Deadpool movie. So they greenlit it within 24 hours, and yeah.
So they greenlight it. They don't give it a sort of $300 million budget. They sort of rein back a little bit on the budget. Was that better for you though? Because you get more control.
You know what? It was the best thing that ever happened to us is that they made us make this movie against all odds. That they gave us the absolute bare minimum. You could never have done what we did in the Deadpool movie with any other director, I think, because Tim Miller is a visual effects artist, so he really squeezed $10 out of every dollar they gave us, and that was a real help to us. And not only that, we get to rely on character. I mean, Deadpool's never going to be the guy that's saving the world, because Deadpool doesn't really care about saving the world. He's like a morally flexible kind of anti-hero. So we had a lot of freedom with what we had, and that felt really good.
So where does this character sit then? Because he's an anti-hero, but he lives in this X-Men universe.
Yeah.
You obviously want to make more of them.
Yeah.
Is it going to be standalone cameos? Is it going to be standalone movies? I mean, how does he fit into the very serious?
Well, that's the question
Xavier?
that the studio's asking, and it's a good question, because for the longest time we weren't even on the studio's radar, and now we're their sort of prized possession all of a sudden. So we'll see what they want to do. I know that the way forward is to just continue with Deadpool standalone films, and Deadpool will always interact in the X-Men universe. He just has to. He lives in that universe, but you just have to do it carefully. You just don't want to do too much or too little.
It's got to be standalone, surely. Otherwise, you ruin all the good stuff you've done in this movie.
Well, yeah, you got to do a standalone. That's the whole point, and that's what we want. I mean, that's what everybody that's attached to this and is passionate about it as I am. They all want that as well. So
lovely. Hope it happens.
Cool. Yeah, me too.
Thanks, mate.
You.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Thanks.